So we all want to be successful, but then what really is success?
Well, to me, success is achieving your set goals set by you.
Each and every day we have the opportunity to be successful, right? We won't sit down and think and be like, I'll be successful at the end of the year.
My Instagram channel, which is the Tech Media, I started it just to flee away from mourning my father's death.
What am I going to be able to do today? Like, how do I want to feel today?
Something that helped me a lot was consistency.
Trust me, my first brand deal that I got from a company, I didn't even have about 1,000 followers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's podcast. My name is Smith, and today's podcast will be featuring Ken and the Tech. And these are some amazing friends that I have. They're more like brothers. So this podcast is all about defining success on your own terms. And what we intend to do is to discuss and even bring people on board how they've implemented certain principles in their lives, and as well as Ken and then the Tech, what they've done to be successful in certain areas of their lives. And then we expect our audience to learn from us, and also we'll be learning from you guys as well. So that's the purpose of this podcast, and we'll call it Success Mindset. So without further ado, I will just ask Kenneth and Elijah to introduce themselves.
So I'm Ken. This is my first podcast, actually. I know that a lot of us actually want to be successful, especially starting with like New Year's and stuff. We have like goals, we have intentions, we have like things we actually want to accomplish by the end of the year, right? So we all want to be successful, but then what really is success? So I'm here today, with Smith and the Turk, and it will be interesting, the things that we'll discuss, and then the things that we'll learn together. There are things that I know that you guys do not, and there are things that you guys know that I do not. And so this will be a good discussion for us to learn a lot of things together. So yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I'm the Tech. Sorry, I'm a bit under the weather, but it's fine. In my life, there are so many things that I've done to be successful, and most of them wasn't just by my doing. I also took it from some people. So whatever experience or con meal that I've gone through, I'll be able to share with you guys as well. And just like my friend said, we'll invite people aboard and then share their experience, and also you can learn, take something from it to make it impactful for you and to become successful as well. So yeah.
Thank you. So this we want this to be very interactive, okay? So we expect the audience to participate, and we'll be doing some polls. We'll be asking questions so that we can get comments from you guys. We all want to learn from each other. Before we go on, we would like to introduce ourselves, like what we do in real life, not just on this podcast. Okay, so I'll go first. So I'm a software engineer. I've been doing IT for the past 7 years, I guess. What I love to do is actually architecting software. So that's my passion. And besides work, I also like photography and just dancing and playing soccer. So that's about me. And how about you, Kenneth?
So I know that IT people are not people that actually talk a lot. So this is going to be interesting. So I'm also into IT. I'm more of a systems engineer. I do workday integrations and extend development. So.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm also IT guy, but aside that, I do a lot of stuff. I'm a humanitarian. I also create content online. I inspire people to build their home office setup and just name it. Anything about setup, software, smart gadgets and stuff, I do it as well. I'm also a farmer. So yeah, in terms of IT, I do a lot. I kind of do everything. So more of like a system admin. So yeah, you're going to learn a lot from us. So
yeah, thanks. Okay, so we'll go straight into it. Since this podcast is about success mindset, we just want to learn from our panelists, like, what is success to you? Who want to go first?
Well, I think success will probably start with what you want to achieve, right?
Okay.
It's, let's say you have a goal set or you have an intent, something that motivates certain actions or certain choices that you decide to make in life, right? So at the end of that action or at the end of that choice, what outcome will you want to get out of that? You know, you put that effort in, and then the outcome you are going to determine for yourself whether that's a successful outcome or that's not a successful outcome, right? Your success will be different from my success, even if we are like kind of aiming towards the same goal, right? How you feel internally and how I feel internally based on progress, based on experiences. It's really what's going to define whether you're successful or not.
I see. So you mean like you need to have a goal and then like a plan to work towards that goal, and then how you feel about
I
it.
mean, not necessarily a goal though,
Okay.
right? You might have an intention. You might just have like a thought or an idea, whatever you want to work towards, right? Like I just had someone the other day ask me, do you have like a New Year goal or you have a New Year intention, right? So it's like, it depends.
Yeah.
Goal setting is, you know, you have to write it down. You have to like list key steps you want to take, and then like period timeline, things you want to do before that, and all that. But then intent is like, oh, maybe by the end of this year, I want to do well with like my relationship with my family, relationship with friends, right? That's an intent.
Yeah.
And so that you have at the back of your mind, and whenever you meet like your family, your friends, you know, you try to find ways you can be able to fulfill that intent.
I see.
So
So one thing that I learned from what you said is you need to be intentional about your success.
yeah,
Cool.
Well, to me, success is achieving your set goals set by you and also fulfilling your divine purpose on this earth. Like,
Okay.
we as an individual, we have our own personal set goals, and then you are on this earth for a purpose, and you have a divine goal that you are supposed to fulfill. So to be successful in those areas, it means that you need to achieve those goals set by you personally and then your divine purpose on earth. But the question is, do you know your divine purpose on this earth? Because there are so many people who do not know what their divine purpose is. And most of the time, they let what people say define their success. Someone like me, those who know me will tell you, I was not the elite kind of like student when I was in Ghana. Yeah, like if you talk to any of my teachers or my instructors and be like, oh, name 20 people who are going to be successful in life, trust you. My teachers will never mention me. They were just like
They
about
didn't
two
like
or
you or
three.
what?
Not that they didn't like me. You know, like in school, especially in Ghana, they have their favorite student. If you are the A student, yeah, they always want you. As long as you get those A grades, yeah, they want you. But I remember I went to Ghana 2019 and my colleagues, like my classmates were like, you need to write a book because your life is a story. Yeah, so now look at me, I'm here and I didn't let whatever they say define
Define
me.
you.
So to me, I would say that in some areas I've been so successful because I always go for what I believe in, and I know that I can achieve it no matter what people say. I don't know. Giving up is not in my DNA, so I always go for what I know I can achieve. Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, and I feel from that, right? It just brings something to mind where it's like people define success for you sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Like from school is like, yeah, we need to see certain characteristics out of you, certain things you're doing for us to be able to say, in the future, you're going to be successful. But is that really what's going to make you successful?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So that's a question to you guys. But something I also learned from you, like you mentioned about divine potential, divine goal that you need to actualize. So in your life, how did you come about that idea?
So growing up, my dad used to be a Muslim. And then growing up, when I was working with him, I see that he's always giving to people. Even at a point in our lives where he didn't have enough, he was still giving to people. And sometimes, I mean, he was a contractor as well. So when he get deals and stuff, when we go to the bank, he'll cash out money and then give me a portion of the money. And I always see him giving his out. For me, I was like, what is he doing? And even the money I don't spend because I didn't know. I was very young. I didn't know the essence of money. So, but when I grew up, looking at all the people that have touched my life and everything, on mission, I decided to start a nonprofit so that I can give people. Cause
So
even
like paid for it.
yeah, like paying it forward, and then moved to the US, and then I registered it, and then like from my own pocket. Sometimes people donate, but you don't even get a lot of donations from people. And then I use my own money to fund a lot of things and stuff. So I felt like that is my divine purpose, just to help people. Like,
Yeah.
there's one thing I believe in this life. We are puzzles in this world, and we have to hold each other to complete a puzzle. Like, other than that, I know we cannot help everyone, but each of us can help someone. So that's what I've been doing, and I feel like that's my divine purpose. And I always like making sure that people are happy, so that even if I don't have, there's been times in my life that I didn't have anything, and then the little that I had, I have to empty it for someone because the person was desperate in need
Yeah.
of it. So that, to me, that's my divine purpose.
Nice.
Yeah.
So and you learn it from your dad. You
And
saw-
that's a
yeah.
trait I learned from my
Yeah.
dad. And even not only him, like, he's no more, may his soul rest in peace, but I've also learned it from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, people have helped me. Like, my life, if I look at where I am now, is just a miracle. And that's it.
Yeah. It's all the from.
Yeah, and I mean that's really good. Like drawing that from people close to you, you know, they show us a lot of examples, and it's good that we draw from those experiences that they've
Yeah.
demonstrated for us. So when you're talking, you said on mission. Like, were you on a mission to start a nonprofit? What mission?
No, so I was serving a full-time mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
And then, I was a missionary preaching the gospel, calling people onto Christ and stuff, yeah. And even with that, there are people I met on mission that I learned from them. There are members and non-members that I learned so much from. And there was one thing in my mind when I went on mission. There were some people who were all about baptism. Yeah, I know some people will come for me in the comment section, but I don't care. It's the truth. There are some people who are all about baptism, but for me, this is my baptism. As long as you open your mouth to tell me whatever I'm teaching you or preaching to you is true, that is my baptism. I won't force you to go and enter the waters of baptism. It has to come from you. I got to a point, I've got people who beg me just to get baptized because I want people to know that I'm doing this for Christ and for myself, not because, the church, they say the church is rich or this and that. Yeah. So, and I didn't want a situation whereby I will leave and then those people will also leave the church. I want you to believe in whatever I'm teaching you so that when I'm not there, you can make decisions on your own.
That's nice.
Yeah, and I feel that's really, really good because it's like you think about success, right? In school, they teach us stuff, and most times they cramp all these topics into our head, right? You need to like memorize so many things. You need to do like times table and like, you come early in the morning and there's like the teacher has a cane back in Ghana and he's like already he's like 1 times 1 like 2 times 2, and you just need to like your brain needs to go like that, like
mental.
Yeah, they call it mental. But then you sit down and think about it and be like, wait, is that really helping me? Like, is that really helping me be successful in like my education? What am I really understanding out of it? Right. And I feel for someone to be able to say they're actually successful is that they've gotten to a point where whatever they are doing or whatever they've been able to achieve goes forever. Right. It's not something that has a timeline.
Yeah.
That's something that's going to end. Right. It's a personal progress that you've made for yourself. And so I feel each and every day we have the opportunity to be successful.
Yeah.
Right? We won't sit down and think and be like, I'll be successful at the end of the year. No. Right? Today, I woke up. Today, I said, I'm going to be here for the podcast. I'm here. And that's a success to me. Right.
Okay. Nice. I'm learning so much from you guys. I think I've been thinking about success a lot since we started talking about starting this podcast, and also like hearing from you your own like ideas about success. I think for me, success is it's a mindset. It's like the state of your mind about something that you want to accomplish or you want to do. Elijah talked about Detect talked about divine potential. So personally, if I'm successful, that means that my state of mind is in the right place. Like emotionally, I'm stable. Spiritually, I'm stable. Financially, I'm stable. I'm not like 0.00 in my bank account, okay? So those are the things that I look at when I'm thinking about success. And so I think it's a journey. It's not like one thing that you accomplish at the end of the day, like you said. It's like a lifelong journey that you always come back to it and then reassess. Am I really successful? How happy I am with my life in all these aspects in my life. So that's what I think about when we talk about success.
Yeah.
No, I like that you said that it's like a journey, right? And in Ghana, they have a proverb that is like, if you keep weeding and then you don't check your back to see, you know, how the lines that you've made, you're probably going in a crooked direction, right? So even though you feel like you're being successful, you still need to like sit back sometimes and assess yourself. You know, think, could I have made this better today? You know, if yes, what can I do tomorrow to make sure I get more out of, you know, my input?
Yeah, so. Nice. So we have some questions here that we want to ask you, our audience. Where is it? I had it pulled up, but I can't find it anymore. Okay. So, like, we want to hear from you guys. What have you done to be successful in life? Okay. And I'll let Ken and Detect share their experiences with what they've done. You can take like one or two examples and tell us what you've done.
Yeah, so for me, my Instagram channel, which is Detect Media, I started it just to flee away from mourning my father's death. And then it became more of like a therapy for me. And then later on, it became like a passion. And then later on, it started generating more of like freebies and, you know, a little bit of income for me and my family as well. So, and trust me, my first brand deal that I got from a company, I didn't even have about 1,000 followers. I was only having about 300 to 400 followers. And then I was like, oh, this is something I can really, you know, when I put more time in it, I can, you know, turn it into a side hustle. So I started investing in it, like, you know, changing my setup and whatever, and, you know, reading online, looking at following other creators who are in the same nature as me. And then I learned a lot. And then I started, you know, putting more effort. And then I started seeing that the numbers are growing. And then what I did was that I started approaching companies, brands, so that I can get deals. And I did that. Some will say no. Some will say, oh, okay, yeah, we'll work with you and stuff. And one thing I was seeing so many things on Instagram, like so many things, even on YouTube. Some will say, do not approach companies or brands and stuff. Some will say, approach brands and stuff. And I was like, this one, what are they saying?
Very confusing.
It was really confusing. But what I did was that I was like, in this world, if you don't move towards your goal will never move towards you. So I was like,
Did you guys hear that? If you don't move towards your goal will never move towards you.
Yeah, I was like, okay, let me approach the brand. If they say no, that is fine. It's just like writing a resume, you know, applying for jobs. Not all of them will, you know, accept you. Yeah. Some will say no, but out of the 10, at least you get one who will offer you an interview, and that's a win. If you get an interview, it's a win, even if you don't get employed. So many companies like will say no, some will say yes. And then I'm at a point where I don't even approach companies anymore. Like, you know,
They approach you.
they approach me because they see that I reach a lot of audience and stuff. And when I even started, there were companies that I was doing stuff for free. Now I get paid to do stuff.
Nice.
That's good. That's a
Yeah.
good. That's a good way.
And
to
there
go
are
about
some that I'll be like, okay, most of the time I calculate, okay, the worth of the product that they are sending me, and then I can choose to not take any money or stuff. Or yeah, like the recent deal we got, I think it was closer to a $10,000 deal, whatever. So it was a couch and whatever. And then yeah, I was like, oh, just send it. I'll just shoot a video. I didn't charge them for anything, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to put a lot of work into your goals to achieve them.
And you need
because-
to sacrifice.
And you need to sacrifice. Like achieving it's a lot of sacrifice. Trust me, especially content creation, it's a lot of sacrifice. There are times that you don't want to create content. Someone like me, I was struggling because I hate the popularity. I always like being behind the scene, making things move and stuff. So even my nonprofit, most of the time you wouldn't even see my face, like just other people and stuff. But I realized that if I don't do it that way too, man, I won't get the money and I won't get the deals.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to sacrifice, be disciplined, be determined, and then invest. Read as well. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Ken, what about you?
I mean, just to add up on that, as you're saying, I think mine is mostly of the mindset, right? I'm like a day-to-day person. I am like, today is today. I have today. I might not have tomorrow, right? So I'm more of like, what am I going to be able to do today? Like, how do I want to feel today? It's you deciding, do you want to be happy today? Or do you want to be sad? Do you want to be angry? Do you want to be frustrated, right? I wake up every day and I'm like, I want to be happy. You know, I want to project that happiness also to people that I come into contact with. Because guess what? As Elijah was saying, life is a puzzle. We all fit in, right? But then if you don't have the right size, you won't be able to fit in to others, right? Yeah. We meet people each and every day that are going through a lot of things. Like he was saying, like, you know, the loss of his dad, he had to like try to do content creation to kind of deal with that, right? Yeah. That's how he figured things out. And even through that, he still had to communicate with people back and forth, you know, through his social media platform. And so imagine if he is not in a good state of mind, right? He's not going to be able to get to where he currently is, right? Yeah. And so we need to develop that. It's like every day, leave it like that's going to be your last. I know people have said that so many times, but it's true. What if I don't make it tomorrow? Am I going to regret, you know, the things I did today? I don't want to do that. So for me, that's my mindset. Is like when I go to sleep at night, I reflect and be like, you know, was I happy today? If I was happy, then yeah, I was successful.
Nice. I think I'm really interested in like how you came about like the tech, how you came about like trying to escape reality, but now you're actually making money out of that escape. Like how did you come up with that idea? Like,
so there's this guy on YouTube that I watch a lot. His name is Tech Source, and I watch him a lot. He mostly, people will submit their setup to him, and then he will just do a review and sometimes tell them, hey, do this, do that, and then give them recommendations and stuff. And when COVID hit, I mean, everyone was home. I was not even doing content. I was just working from home. And then 2021, got married, then lost my dad. And then I was like, let me try and do whatever they've been doing on TV, you know, and see how it goes. So, I started doing that because, I mean, and in my setup, one thing I enjoy doing is cable management. I love cable management. It's like you are playing a game and you are trying to see how to put this here, put that here so that it all look nice. So doing that, it takes my mind off so many things. Like it's just a therapy. It takes my mind off so many things. So that is why most people will see me changing my setup a lot. Like I can change my setup within a month. I can change it like twice or 3 times. Within 4-6 months, I can change it like 4-5 times. Like last year alone, trust me, I changed my setup more than 20 times. And it's there. The record is there on Instagram. So
Are you paying anybody for that kind of therapy?
so it's there. And sometimes people be like, oh, leave it. You've been changing. My wife especially will be like, you're changing your setup a lot. And then, yeah, I mean, now I'm sure she'll understand why.
That's good. Yeah. I think for me, what I've learned is, I'll give you one example. So I started doing GIS in college, and then I took one programming class, and I just fell in love with it. So I switched from GIS to software engineering. But then something that helped me a lot was the consistency. Yeah. And it's still paying dividends. My boss, who was Kate Smith, I was working for him on campus, and he saw that potential in me. Like, hey, you can do this, even though you have background in GIS, but if you put your mind to it, you can do it. And so he just gave me a job to design some kiosks for campus. I don't know if you guys saw that on campus. So that really gave me the opportunity to actually explore and come up with ideas like, okay, can I really do it? Is this something that I really want to do as a profession? And then I was able to do it, well, like with some guidance and researching a lot. But what he told me at the end of it was like, you're very consistent. You pursue knowledge, even like when you don't know about things, you want to learn more about it. So that was like a reflection for me to actually remember always to be persistent and consistent in everything that I do. And that's one principle that has helped me to be successful when it comes to school, because school is hard. I'm not like someone who likes to sit in class. I want to go out there and then do stuff, you know. But the consistency has paid off, and it's still paying dividends. I was having a conversation with my brother, and then it just came out of my mind. Like I told him, like the only difference between success and failure is the consistency. Yeah. And I think that's very, very true. Like if you're consistent with your goals, you'll be able to accomplish it. But if you're not consistent, then even if you are very skilled and talented, you can be successful. Like that state of mind needs to be there in order for you to reach that goal.
I think one of the issue with becoming successful with people nowadays is that they want everything. Like when I start something today, within a month, I wanted to I would just want to see.
You want to see results?
No, it doesn't work that way.
I think it's how the world is moving now.
Yeah.
They're like social media and like the internet is like, you know, we are all connected so fast like that, and you reach someone in like a different continent, you know? So it's like our brain is like, everything just needs to move that fast. But
let me give you an example. So we were ordering something on Amazon, and then I didn't get the 2-day shipping. And I was so frustrated. And then all of a sudden it hit me like, why am I even frustrated about 2-day shipping? Like, do I really need this thing right now? And I recognized that I didn't need that thing right away. But like that's a very good example of how we want things like instantly, and sometimes we become entitled for things that we've not even worked for, you know?
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, getting back to being persistent and, you know, what was the second one? Consistent. Yeah. So it's like, think about it. You wake up every morning, the first thing you do is what? Go brush your teeth, or you go and eat. But at least every day you brush your teeth, right? Mm-hmm. Why do you do that?
You don't want to smell.
You don't want to have like bad breath. You go talk to someone and you're like, I don't want to talk to you. But how many times have you done that in your life? Can you think about it? Like, how many times have you done that?
I think like every day of your life.
Yeah, every day.
It's become part of you, right? It's become part of your routine that you do. And so I feel with being successful is like, as you were saying, that consistency, right? It needs to become part of your daily routine. You need to find time in your day and put that in it. And as you keep doing it, it becomes part of you. And it's no longer even going to look like work or look like something burdensome, that you have to do every time. But remember, starting it, it's going to be hard, right? When you started brushing your teeth, yeah, it's like you need to always remember, oh, I have not brushed my teeth. I need to go brush my teeth. It's like, yeah, before in Ghana, I just brush my teeth in the morning. In the evening, I don't even brush my teeth. I go and sleep.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I brush my teeth morning and evening. Now, brushing in the evening, sometimes I'll forget. But as I kept doing it, it became a part of me, and now I just do it before, yeah. So
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see this is a very interesting conversation that we are having. But in future episodes, we'll be talking about, we'll be going more details into all these things. I think what we want you to do is learn from the little that we've discussed today, and then also come up with your own definitions of success and what principle that you learned from this conversation, or you've learned from someone, or you've seen from someone that you can actually implement in your life to be successful. I think we're going to end our conversation here today. This is just the introduction, and it's already fun. And we expect to see you in our next episode and talk about all these things. If you have questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you have contributions, like what from your own experiences, what you can put there for other people to learn too, don't forget to do that. This has been the Success Mindset podcast, and today I was here with Ken and D-Tech.
Yep.
yeah.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.